Welcome to episode 56, Meditation and Christianity. I'm your host, Dr. Nick Fanning. Prepare yourself. This is the Super Parent Syndrome.
Parenting in the 21st century is ever evolving. And while you balance work, kids, and your sanity, it's easy to feel discouraged. Welcome to the Super Parent Syndrome with your host, Dr. Nick Fanning.
All right, parents. So let me give you a little background first. Okay. Now, working with some clients, and I had a particular client actually post on our private Facebook page about his struggles with meditation. And actually, he had just recently overcome that, which is a really great thing. But it had come down to that his faith, his Christianity faith, he had some real big reservations about meditation because of all the Eastern influence. This is a totally rational fear and concern for people, and I wanted to put some knowledge out there and some truth bombs out there to put some things to rest, because I talk a lot about meditation. I talk a lot about getting some being and balance in your life, and one of the best ways that you can do is meditate. And what I mean by that is that meditation is we're looking at just calming ourselves and bringing some peace within, and just kind of accessing that kind of internal voice and really just trying to take things up a notch. Now, here's the thing. In life, we have lots of things that we use to sedate, meaning to burn off stress. So some people use shopping or sitting in a bathtub or masturbating or, porn or food or TV or all these different things to kind of reduce some stress, or alcohol, drugs, things like that, smoking. We use these things to reduce stress, yet they're destructive. Okay, there's always a recovery period for them. You spend too much on shopping, you have to work harder just to make up that income. You drink too much, you have a hangover. You eat too much, you're overweight. All these things over and over again. And so here's the lesson in this. Right now, instead of using stress relief to sedate, what if we used a method such as meditation to not sedate, but actually to break stress and to actually increase our body's ability to deal with stress in the future. Okay, so that's the benefit of meditation. Okay, so meditation, or things like Tai Chi or exercise. In fact, some people even actually sedate with exercise, where they exercise too much, they self-recover. But these activities such as meditation's like perfect here. Prayer, Christian contemplation. There's lots of terms for it, but meditation allows us to, 1, reduce stress, 2, to actually increase our future's ability to deal with stress. Okay, that's why I love float tanks so much as well, because in a float tank, it actually isolates you and forces you to meditate, which I'm going to talk about actually probably next episode. But first of all, let's get back to this. So what I want to impress upon you is that one of my books where I first learned about this was actually called Christian Contemplation by Thomas Keating. And the whole point of that is that he explained that meditation has been around in Christianity since the beginning. Okay, if you think about what monks and friars do, and even in the Catholic Church, is that their job was, 1, copying the Bible, of course, but they would spend their lot of their time in silent contemplative prayer. And what the process of that is if you think about it, it's like the true process is that you spend a few minutes praying to God, and then you spend the rest of the time listening to God. Okay, and you're not like listening for an actual voice or, conversation. You are just listening, okay? And with the intention that he may reveal to you. Okay, so here's the thing. If you also think about what life was like back then, when the area of Christ, or in the area of early religion, if you think about the number of distractions there was versus now, if you think about the distractions with technology versus now. So back then, it was not uncommon for, a average man to go out into the fields and work in silence for several hours, if not all day, okay? Being alone with himself, being creative, being hands in the dirt, or whatever it might be. And yeah, he might have some conversations with his son or parts of his family at times, but for the most part, it was really mostly isolated. That was a lot of time for contemplation, for a lot of time for introspection, okay? But nowadays, our schedules are just so chock full of stuff going on. We fill everything to the brim and then some, that we actually have to take time to sit back and actually meditate. It's the same thing with exercise. Back in the day, it was not uncommon for us to burn like 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day through manual labor. But now we actually have to force ourselves and take time to actually exercise and strength train and things like that. So if we know we have to do that for our body and exercise, then our spiritual health and our connection is no different. Okay, so that's why it's so crucial. Okay, so this is the things that I do on a regular basis. Okay, I started off small and I would use box breathing. And if you need to know an explanation of that, is basically in your mind side, with your eyes closed, you're going to breathe in for 4 seconds. You'll hold for 4 seconds, and you exhale for 4 seconds, and then hold that for 4 seconds, and you just repeat that, focusing on your breath the entire time. If you want to learn more about that, there's the Navy SEAL. If you just look up SEAL Fit or Navy trainers and just box breathing with that, there's a couple great videos where they explain to it. But let's just take a moment just to do it for 3 full breaths, okay? So right now, in your car or wherever you might be, if you're able to close your eyes, do so. If you're able to just kind of gaze, I'd recommend that too as well. If you're driving, please don't do this. You can do it with your eyes open and just practice along with us. But we're going to actually do a breathing so you can get the feel for it, okay? So you sit there nice and tall, and then you start with your breath. So I'm going to stop after 2. At first, I always have my seconds count go a lot faster. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. By the time I'm done with 5 minutes or 10 minutes, they're true breaths. Okay. I mean, you're talking about 1,000, 2. I mean, you're going through the whole motions here as your body relaxes. There is other meditations. Now I've actually kind of upgraded one of my 4 wish list items for Christmas my lovely wife got for me was a Muse. And a Muse is a wearable device that you put over your forehead and across the back of your ears, and it tracks brain activity, and it gives you biofeedback through headphones of where your mindset is. So if you're an active mindset or a calm mindset, and it gives you auditory cues to help you maintain a meditative state. Okay, and then last but not least, I also I love doing float tanks. Now, I live probably about 2.5 hours away from the closest float tank, so it's usually only when I travel. I'm at a conference right now, and so actually when I first arrived, one of my first things I did was actually do a float tank for 90 minutes. And oh my gosh, I can tell you this, even though I'm ADD and I am so high energy and just go, this is one of those guilty pleasures that I do for myself. I just absolutely love taking that time, and by the time I'm done, I'm just ready to explode. I'm ready to just take charge. So those are 3 big things that you can do. It does not have to be expensive. In fact, it shouldn't be expensive. And this is the basic things that I would suggest to you. So guess what? Meditation, Christianity does not conflict with each other. In fact, you don't even have to call it meditation. If you don't, you can call it Christian contemplation. There's other great resources out there, which I'll have to look back at this Facebook post and take a look at what he suggested, and I will put that in the show notes. So, folks, if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, please reach out to me, private message me on Facebook. Otherwise, I want you to go right now to the Super Parent Syndrome Podcast Facebook page, and I want you to like that page and start participating. We are having daily discussions. We are having links, resources, lots of stuff out there, and that's where I'm going to have most of my fun. This podcast, I'm probably going to just do once a week. Okay, but my daily thoughts, my daily challenges and things like that to actually really change your 2018 for good is going to be there. And then I have a brand new podcast called Worthy Inside Out. Take a look at that. I think you're going to be pretty impressed with that. That's going to be interview based. So instead of these little episodes of being like 7 to 12 minutes long, we're talking 45-minute interviews, but I'm interviewing the best in the business as far as mindset goes. So we can start destroying those stories inside of your head about fear, self-doubt, unworthiness, things like that, which obviously is why I called it worthyinsideout.com. So check those out. Those are your action steps, folks. I love you. Appreciate you. I appreciate the time that you took to listen to this, because I know as a parent, it's hard to get time away for that. So I honor you, respect you, and good luck out there.
Thanks for listening to another episode of The Super Parent Syndrome. Please be sure to visit peptalksforparents.com for more content and our free newsletter. And remember, you are not alone.